Change your thinking, change your life is more than a motivational phrase. It is a profound spiritual principle across spiritual traditions, whether in Buddhism, Hindu philosophy, Christian mysticism, or modern mindfulness teachings. There is a shared understanding that the outer world we experience is deeply influenced by our inner world. Our thoughts are not passive, they are creative forces. They shape perception, perception shapes experience, and experience shapes destiny. From a spiritual perspective, life does not merely happen to us, it flows through us, and what it flows through is the quality of our consciousness. Spiritually, thought is energy. It is subtle but powerful. Every thought carries a vibration. Fear contracts, love expands. Anger disturbs, peace harmonizes. When we continuously think thoughts of lack, resentment, or limitation, we live in a contracted state. Our decisions, reactions, and interpretations become rooted in fear. Life begins to feel heavy, unfair, or hostile. But when we shift our thinking toward gratitude, trust, abundance, forgiveness, and presence, something changes internally first. We begin to perceive opportunities instead of obstacles, lessons instead of punishments, growth instead of loss. The external circumstances may not immediately change, but our relationship to them does, and that shift transforms our lived experience. In spirituality, perception is reality. Two people can face the same situation, yet experience entirely different emotional and spiritual realities based on their thinking. Spiritual teachings often distinguish between the ego mind and the higher consciousness. The ego mind is rooted in fear, comparison, judgment, and attachment. It constantly narrates stories. I'm not enough. This shouldn't be happening. What if I fail? Why are they better than me? When we live from this level of thinking, our life reflects insecurity and struggle because we are operating from separation. The higher mind or awakened awareness thinks differently. It sees unity instead of division. It trusts the process of life. It understands that challenges are teachers and that nothing is happening against us, but for our growth. To change your life spiritually is to move from ego-driven thinking to soul-centered awareness. This does not mean denying reality or pretending everything is positive. It means consciously choosing interpretations that align with truth, compassion, and growth rather than fear. In many Eastern spiritual philosophies, thought is considered the seed of karma. Before action there is thought. Before habit there is repeated thought. Before destiny there is sustained mental focus. If a person constantly thinks in resentment, resentment becomes speech. Speech becomes action. Action becomes character. Character becomes destiny. Likewise, if a person thinks in love, patience, and discipline, those thoughts gradually manifest as behavior, then as lifestyle, and eventually as life circumstances. Spiritually speaking, changing your thinking is planting new seeds in the garden of your soul. One of the deepest spiritual realizations is this: you do not see the world as it is, you see it as you are. If your inner world is chaotic, the outer world feels overwhelming. If your inner world is calm, even chaos appears manageable. This is why spiritual masters emphasize meditation, self-inquiry, and awareness, not to escape life, but to refine perception. When your thinking shifts from "why is this happening to me?" to "what is this teaching me?" your life transforms. When your thinking shifts from "I lack" to "I already have enough to begin," your behavior transforms. When your thinking shifts from "I am broken" to "I am becoming," your identity transforms, and identity shapes reality. However, changing thinking is not about force. Spiritual transformation does not happen through suppression or self-criticism. It happens through awareness. First, you become aware of your thoughts. You observe them without judgment. You notice patterns, fear, doubt, negativity, comparison. You begin to see that you are not your thoughts. You are the awareness behind them. In that space of awareness, choice becomes possible. You can let a negative thought pass. Instead of believing it, You can replace judgment with compassion. You can respond consciously instead of reacting automatically. This is spiritual maturity, the ability to choose thoughts aligned with truth rather than conditioned fear. Most people live reactively. They think based on circumstances. If something good happens, they think positively. If something bad happens, they think negatively. Their inner world depends on outer events. Spiritually awakened individuals reverse this order. They think consciously first, and from that state they respond to life. Their peace is not dependent on outcomes. It is rooted in perspective. When your thinking becomes intentional, your life becomes creative rather than reactive. You move from victimhood to empowerment. Changing your thinking spiritually does not require dramatic rituals. It begins with small but consistent inner adjustments. Practice gratitude daily. Replace self-criticism with self-compassion. View challenges as growth opportunities. Affirm your worth independent of achievements. Spend time in silence to observe your mental patterns. Choose presence over worry. Over time, these shifts rewire not only your brain but your spiritual orientation toward life. Ultimately, change your thinking. Change your life is not about manifesting wealth or success, though those may come. It is about transforming consciousness. When your thinking changes, fear turns into faith, resistance turns into acceptance, confusion turns into clarity, ego turns into awareness, and when consciousness transforms, life naturally follows, because life is not separate from the mind that interprets it. In conclusion, spiritually speaking, changing your thinking is an act of awakening. It is the recognition that you are not a powerless observer of fate, but a conscious participant in creation. Your thoughts are seeds. Your awareness is the soil. Your life is the harvest. When you elevate your thinking from fear to love, from scarcity to abundance, from judgment to understanding, you elevate your experience of life itself. Change your thinking, and you do not merely improve your life, you transform your relationship with existence.